Well, it was the disaster that grabbed the world's attention, and now 2 years on, a documentary is uncovering new details behind the deep-sea voyage that killed all 5 of its passengers.
There was no way of knowing when Titan was going to fail, but it was a mathematical certainty that it would fail. Stockton saw an opportunity to restart tourist visits to Titanic.
Stockton fully believed in what he was doing and that it would work.
He wanted fame. To fuel his ego, fame.
Our next guest, CBS News correspondent David Pogue, featured in the doco, revealing his experience with Stockton in the exact same vessel just 3 dives before that fatal expedition. And David joins us now live in New York. Great to have you with us. That experience, geez, it must have been even more eerie looking back.
It's a little complicated to process, you know. There's a little anger that we didn't know more about the background. There's some survivor's guilt thrown in there, and quite a lot of gratitude that our dive was actually canceled when we were only 40 feet down. It could have been us.
Yeah, you talk about signing this really big death waiver, and you talk about concerns about the sub's safety. What were they?
The disclaimer makes it really clear that this is an experimental vessel. It has not been certified by anyone. It is not registered to any country. It is an adventure experiment. And the waiver says literally 15 times all the different ways you could be killed. I felt okay about it because I knew that they had been down to the Titanic's depths 21 times in this thing without an issue. So I wasn't especially worried. Different looking back, of course.
Yeah, and that's right. So, David, take us through that moment when you did discover that it had imploded.
There were always problems with this thing. I mean, the Stockton Rush, the guy who created the company, created the sub, and died in it, was fond of saying that every submersible is a prototype. In other words, it's not like an iPhone where they have multiple generations and they keep perfecting it. Every Titanic sub that's ever been is a one-off, and things go wrong all the time. So during our week at sea with it, there was one time when they were down at the Titanic and they lost the ability to direct the sub from the ship for a couple hours. They were lost. So things went wrong. So when I first heard that they lost communication, I thought, oh, it'll come back.
There's one thing doing dangerous things and knowing that there is a danger element to it. There's another thing if the people who are organising it are cowboys. How would you sum up Stockton Rush?
This new documentary, this Netflix documentary, makes it very clear that Stockton Rush was a bad guy. He was reckless. He fired people for contradicting him. But he kept saying to us that Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, back before he went crazy, all of these guys broke the rules. All these guys found new, better ways of doing things that had been around for a long time. And if this thing hadn't imploded, maybe we would be saying the same thing about him. He invented a better way to do things. You just can't predict.
I just watched your interview with Elon Musk too. That was quite intriguing as well. On a side note, just quickly before letting you go, a lot of people saying that this was clearly avoidable. I mean, the idea that this didn't have to happen must resonate with you.
There were a lot of safety things that we witnessed. So they had a lot of protocols. It was like a rocket launch, countdowns, inspections. What we couldn't know is everything that had happened in the years preceding it. So, yeah, that we should have had more information than we were given.
Yeah, David Pogue, we thank you very much for explaining it today. That Netflix doco out now.